but get emotions right. What we want is eventually to enjoy wealth. I see more and more people as financial planners not enjoying money. They have a lot of anxiety. Work-life balance, go for toss. People end up working more number of hours, they don't have time. In fact, because we get all these emotions about money, we feel that money will solve all the problems. And hence, we start looking at our increments in terms of money. In fact, once your needs for food, clothing, shelter is taken care of, look at your increment in terms of how much more time I could spend with my family, friends, pursuing my hobby, etc. year on year. Isn't that the main increment? Isn't that what we are seeking? Start looking at or start evaluating or start measuring how many less number of times I visited doctor. How many less medicines I took this year compared to last year. I am more healthy. Isn't that we want? And we end up messing. There is a brilliant rule of 8-8-8. 8 hours of sleep and rest, 8 hours of pleasure, meeting friends, relatives, and 8 hours of work. Tweak this and somewhere there is going to be a problem. There could be temporary tweaking possible. It can happen. If you have started your career, you could end up working for more hours. It's perfectly fine. If you are ill, you could be resting for more number of hours. That is perfectly fine. If you are on a vacation or if there is some social function, you could be kind of enjoying yourself. But if you do it on prolonged basis, somewhere there is going to be a problem. And eventually, what we want is we want to enjoy our wealth. It's all about enjoying. Why are we creating? We are creating so that we have a peaceful life. And again, our scriptures talk about 4 kinds of wealth. And if we don't realize this, if we don't understand this, what are those 4 wealths? First is our physical wealth, our own health. Second is our social wealth, which is our relationship with our spouse, our family members, our friends, society. Third is the emotional wealth. And fourth is the financial wealth. Now, out of these 4 wealths, if any one is not in order, will you be able to enjoy other 3? Imagine if you have a 10 crore portfolio. Is 10 crore a lot of money? Thank you. It's also a lot of money for me. Imagine if you have a 10 crore portfolio, but you require a ward boy for your routine activities. Is that fun? Imagine if you have a 25 crore portfolio and you are litigating with your spouse for divorce, or you are litigating with your cousins and relatives for ancestral property. Is there any fun? You probably have a situation whereby after 6 months your son has to go for higher education, but you don't have enough money. You have anxiety. Is that fun? Out of these 4, if any one of them is not in order, you are bound to have problem. It's very, very important to have all 4 of them synchronized. It is very critical that we realize this thing. There was this brilliant advertisement that I read yesterday morning. Very brilliant advertisement. It said 50 lakhs of salary guaranteed, along with that diabetes, stress and heart problems free. I loved that. And then there was this another one, competitor. He is saying that 75 lakhs of salary guaranteed. Heart problem, stress, hypertension, divorce counseling free. There was Lord Yum sitting up and he said, there is a problem now. If the human beings are doing my job, what should I do? So it's a competitive world. So he felt threatened. So he said, okay, let me come out with a brilliant offer. He said, 1 crore salary, diabetes, stress, hypertension, divorce counseling, and free pickup service from planet Earth. That's what happens. It keeps going on and on and on. We don't look at our emotions. The reason we are not able to set up our financial goals because our mind creates havoc. All the emotions that comes in, and emotion with money about fear, I can understand. We need food, clothing, shelter, etc. If we have fear, we are bound to feel insecure. Understandable. If you have fear and insecurity, you are bound to feel anxious. Understandable. And if we have all these 3 things, greed to some extent, yes. But to that extent, At some point of time, if you have decided your financial goals, once you are moving in that direction, they will start calming down. The problem that happens is we want to meet our other 3 stages with money, and that's where ego comes in. That's where inferiority complex comes in. That's where jealousy comes in. That's where shame comes in. That's where anger comes in. That's where frustration comes in. And if you have these things, then you're not worshipping Lakshmi. What you want is just money. And there is difference. Scriptures talk about money and Lakshmi in a very, very nice way. And I have a restricted time, and I'm the last speaker, so I'm going to talk even for lesser time than what is allotted to me. But please read. Please find out. It's not very difficult. In fact, scriptures also talk about how we should earn money in a pious manner. Don't manipulate and take money. Gita, all of us know, all of us read Gita, and I'm going to, yes? 10 minutes left. Okay. I'll complete it. I assure you I'll complete it. Because Sabyasachi and Rao has spoken very well about financial planning, so I'm going to cut short on that. Last 5 minutes I'll speak on that. But I want to really speak about, and I would never get this kind of audience who understands scriptures so well. Bhagavad Gita chapter 16, Shlok 6 talks about Asuri Vritti, people with devil kind of mentality. And then Shlok 12 and Shlok 13, and I'm giving you this, please take it down, you can go and verify it. It clearly states, Shlok 12 is very clear, anybody who for sake of greed, desire, accumulates money by manipulating it is Asur, is devil. Very, very clearly. In fact, in chapter 10, Lord Krishna goes on to say that I am Kuber. There's nothing wrong with Lakshmi. In fact, good human beings should acquire wealth and use it for the benefit of society. If they don't, not so good human beings will accumulate money and use it for destruction. It's very, very important that we realize this fact. It's a brilliant way. We are blessed to be born in a country where we get these things in scripture. We don't have to look at anywhere else. Let's move ahead. One more thing. When it comes to money, when it comes to financial goals, please make a list of things that you have. Invariably, what we do is we end up making list of things we don't have. That's where there is a problem. What we do, most of us, we make list of things that we don't have and list of things that others have. Please tweak this. Make list of things that you have. Yes, you have goals and we should have it. And avoid making list of things which others have. Leave it. If they want to make list of our things which we have, we don't have, that's their problem. Believe me, I'm not against money. I'm not saying please don't buy. I'm not saying don't buy a luxury car. You want BMW, you want Mercedes, you want Honda Accord, whatever car you want, please go ahead. If that gives you enjoyment, go ahead, by all means go and have it. Why not? But after sitting in that Mercedes car, if you're going to look at neighbor's Mercedes car and say whether that car is old model or new model. If your model is new, you are happy. If your model is old, you're going to feel sad. You are in for trouble. Stop doing that. And all of us have heard that Lakshmi Chanchal hai? Yes? Be honest. Lakshmi Chanchal hai ya hum Chanchal hai? So why blame Lakshmi ji? Lakshmi ji came to your house. We don't make financial goals. We don't align our investments to our goals. We don't stay focused. We don't do the entire activity with our family. Our family members are not aware. I think Sabyasachi or somebody else spoke, and sorry, I just missed it, that you have 3, so you spoke, we have 3 insurance policy, family is aware of only 2, and third, which means family is not aware of our wealth. And then then that money is not useful, and then we go and blame that Lakshmi Chanchal. It's height. Please don't do that. Share the entire information with your family. Do these basic activities. Lakshmi worshipping does not mean only in temple. The very simple steps, and now I will come to financial planning, last 5 minutes, and what you should be doing is, 1, decide financial goals. It's been spoken again and again. Take this photograph. Get your photograph, put these things, you can do it electronically, you can take a printout, put all the goals. You may want to write numbers if you feel that your children are too small, you don't want to share it with them, that's perfectly all right. But honestly, children anyway are aware of money. I have invariably people coming and asking me, Gaurav, what is the right age to take children to bank and teach them finance? And my standard answer is 1 day before taking them to shopping mall. Sir, I have never understood this concept. Nobody comes and asks me, Gaurav, what is the right age to take children to shopping mall? Sir, have you ever asked? I've never had this situation, which means my child will not get spoiled by going to shopping mall. My child will get spoiled by going to bank and learning about financial literacy. And then you say children are not responsible. How can that happen? It can't. Please share it with them. Yes, you may not want to share all your numbers because there's a certain amount, but at the same time, if they know how to use 16,000 or 20,000 or 25,000 rupees smartphone, they better know that SIP and then how to save that 25,000. Otherwise, you are in for trouble. If you have given them gadgets and equipments which are much more expensive, then they better learn how to earn that. Otherwise, don't blame them, blame yourself. So first thing is decide on your financial goals. Link those goals to your investments. Pictorial depiction is very, very important. How we keep photographs of God, goddesses in our wallet, how we keep it enough in front of us, because we stay focused. When we look at it, the calmness that comes in, do this as well. This is for entire family. This is not some secret activity that I'm talking about. After that, contingency fund. It has been spoken time and again that you need to have contingency fund. It's very, very important. But keep certain amount of contingency fund at home as well, in form of cash. Mumbai had an incident of 26 July, couple of years ago, major rainfall, ATM machines were submerged. You may have lakhs of rupees in bank, ATM or whatever. How are you going to go and take out that money? Liquid funds, perfectly fine. You can use and you must use liquid fund for contingency fund, but beyond a point. Certain amount still in bank and ATM machine as well. So after keeping cash at home, certain amount of money in form of savings bank linked to fixed deposit, because if there is an emergency on Saturday evening, you cannot give your liquid fund redemption request. You will have to wait for Monday and money will come to you for Tuesday. And you cannot go and tell milkman that kal ke liye paisa nahi hai, 2 din ke baad mein aana. You have to buy your next day milk if even there is a catastrophe. So you need to have certain amount of cash and you need to have certain amount of money which you have 24/7 access. Health insurance, very, very important. Now, invariably I have problem with people having health insurance given to them by their employers. The biggest problem that I face is, I ask them, how many of you all have health insurance? Hands go up. How many of you all have it provided by employer? Hands go up. Brilliant. Then I say, how many of you all have gone to the HR department and said how much cover I have? And then there is a silence. Because nobody has taken that trouble. वो appointment letter में लिखा हुआ है कि health insurance है. But is your family aware of, are you aware of it, that how much cover it is? How to make a claim? Is your family, so if you are going to be falling ill, what will your family do? They are not aware. So why have you taken health insurance then? Health insurance should, every member of the family, even children beyond a certain amount of age, should be aware of how to do that. Where is there, if there is a cashless card, if there is anything else which is there, it's very, very important. Share it with your family. Share it with your near and dear ones. The entire thing that I'm going to talk about is enjoy wealth, and not in a manner which is harmful to others, in a pious manner. But pious manner does not mean only doing some kind of puja. Pious manner is that family is aware of it. Pious manner is doing it in a balanced manner. So health insurance is very, very important. After that, life insurance, from the risk of covering death. Invariably what happens is, most of the people take life insurance thinking they are never going to die. How much time I have? 5 more minutes? Okay. People, you know something I've always felt, and I know for sure that most Indians die in the month of February and March. Right? Most life insurance policies are sold in the month of February and March to save tax. Why do we buy life insurance policy? Either to save tax or because my neighbor's wife became life insurance agent, my colleague's daughter became life insurance agent, somebody else became life insurance agent and has to complete target. Sorry? Perfectly fine, sir. You've got it completely right. These are the reasons. Is there a reason why we should buy life insurance, or we should purchase life insurance to cover the risk of death for the earning members? Please do that. After that, we come to loan. What does loan mean? Spending a future unearned, uncertain income today. Future is unearned, uncertain. Income is not yet earned. I am not against loan. Repeatedly I am saying I am not against money, I am not against loan. Taking loan, if you are staying in a rented premises, instead of paying EMI, instead of paying rent, pay EMI, perfectly fine. But taking loan and going to vacation on a cruise, not accepted. So take a call on that for why you are taking it. At the same time, there is somebody ill in the family, you can't say bypass surgery, I'll do SIP. I'll wait 2 years, accumulate. Too risky a proposition, very high risk kind of situation. Don't do that. After that, we come to investments, and I've spoken enough, and my people before me have spoken enough. So I'm not getting into it, but link your investments to your financial goals, name them, look at family's commitment. Huge amount of commitment is what you will have. Let me give you a simple, again, let me play with your mind. And let's see, suppose if you are doing a SIP for funding your daughter's higher education after 10 years. It's an equity fund. You started doing SIP into an equity fund for your daughter's higher education after 10 years. 4 years have passed, there is rally in equity market, you're getting good returns. How many of you all will redeem that money from daughter's higher education equity fund and go to Europe for vacation? Put your hands up. No one. Now suppose if you have not done that, it's a random equity fund that you are putting in and you have got good returns, and then there is an offer to go to Europe. How many of you all will break that fund? And simple. The only thing I'm saying is your money, your goals, enjoy that. Very, very important. The only way you can enjoy is stay focused. And believe me, again I'm telling you real life examples. My own experience as a professional with our clients. Every time the goals are named, the family's commitment there. Family will not then ask you to redeem this education fund. They will never ever tell you. Family, you tell them this is for buying a new car. Instead of taking a car on EMI, once make an effort to purchase car with your money and thereafter do an SIP for car purchase for 5 years. Keep repeating that. You are in different ball game then. Every 5 years, redeem that money, buy a new car, you made down payment, the day car comes and start another SIP and do it for another 5 years. Instead of paying EMI, do an SIP for car. Only once you'll have to put in effort, but thereafter you'll have it on your own. Why do you want to do it? Every time you pay EMI, you're paying interest to somebody else's income. Do an SIP, you're building your own wealth. Retirement planning, time up. Okay, retirement planning, first stage is accumulation. I'm not going to talk about it. Second stage is distribution because they are senior citizens. What you need to do is look at 3 aspects: liquidity, regular income, and growth. Growth will come from assets like equity and gold. You can do a mutual fund or something. Regular income, there are various products. Liquidity, that will come from savings account, etc. All 3 are in different direction. Look at all 3. And I'm ending it with prayers for all of y'all. Scriptures talk about wealth that comes to all of y'all, which is anpagaminim. What does anpagaminim mean? Sanskrit word, difficult for me to translate, but I'll just kind of give you the gist. What it means is wealth, Lakshmi, which does not have legs. Once it comes to your house, it shall not go. Not go, it will never go. I pray to God that it not go after 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. For generations that Lakshmi stay with you. I pray that all of you all get Lakshmi, which is anpagaminim. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. I would now request Ms. Sandhya Dhar to present our respected speaker with a token of appreciation. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope all of you have handed over your question slips which you distributed right at the start of the session. That's the only way we can take your questions forward and have our expert panel address the same during the question and answer session. Also, we are distributing a feedback form now, which I would request you all to kindly fill in and return to us by the end of the conference. Finally, it's your feedback that helps us get better. In the meanwhile, may I request Mr. Sabyasachi Mukherjee to please come on stage.
You may have lakhs of rupees in bank, ATM or whatever. How are you going to go and take out that money? Liquid funds, perfectly fine. You can use and you must use liquid fund for contingency fund, but beyond a point. Certain amount still in bank and ATM machine as well. So after keeping cash at home, certain amount of money in form of savings bank linked to fixed deposit, because if there is an emergency on Saturday evening, you cannot give your liquid fund redemption request. You will have to wait for Monday and money will come to you for Tuesday. And you cannot go and tell milkman that kal ke liye paisa nahi hai, 2 din ke baad mein aana. You have to buy your next day milk if even there is a catastrophe. So you need to have certain amount of cash and you need to have certain amount of money which you have 24/7 access. Health insurance, very, very important. Now, invariably I have problem with people having health insurance given to them by their employers. The biggest problem that I face is, I ask them, how many of you all have health insurance? Hands go up. How many of you all have it provided by employer? Hands go up. Brilliant. Then I say, how many of you all have gone to the HR department and said how much cover I have? And then there is a silence. Because nobody has taken that trouble. वो appointment letter में लिखा हुआ है कि health insurance है. But is your family aware of, are you aware of it, that how much cover it is, how to make a claim? Is your family, so if you are going to be falling ill, what will your family do? They are not aware. So why have you taken health insurance then? Health insurance should, every member of the family, even children beyond a certain amount of age, should be aware of how to do that. Whereas if there is a cashless